And welcome to Hero Power. I'm your host, Avanties, and as always, I'm joined by my co-host, Zerotio.
What is up, gang?
That's right. What is up? We were not here last week. I had other obligations that I had to tend to, but we are back this week, and we have a pretty great show lined up for you. A lot to talk about. We have to make up for last week as well, and there was a lot of news, which is good. I mean, it's good that they are getting into doing some exciting things. I'm really excited to talk about it.
So before we get into the news, obviously we're alluding to some big stuff that's going to be happening. If you're listening to us on the download tomorrow, if you're listening to us live, it'll be Tuesday. Before we get into the actual news, we're only about 30 days from BlizzCon and the announcement of the next set. So they've been really kind of changing their cadence up where a set comes out, and then a month later we're seeing some, solo content comes out, and then a month later, usually we might get some buffs, we might get some nerfs, which we've seen some of that. But now we're a month out, and this is usually where we get stale. A month out of announcement of the new set. Things start getting a little stale. Things start getting repetitive. And, man, they're just throwing us a curveball. So, yeah. Do you think this is a positive thing, this kind of new cadence we have with releasing of content or adjusting the current meta content?
So, what they're getting ready to do, which I guess we should just get into it because, we're alluding to it, so let's just jump right into it. Basically, they've never really done anything like this to shake up a meta the way they're going to. If you guys aren't familiar with what we're talking about, last week, Blizzard tweeted out that they felt like now that the Saviors of Oldham meta had settled, it was time to shake it up a little. And so what exactly does that mean? Well, they are introducing a new event starting on October the 8th. Mm-hmm. And you're going to get 2 new dungeon run style tavern brawls with pack rewards, legendary quests for packs every week, dual class arenas, and they're introducing those 1,000 win portraits. But the thing that we're alluding to is they are returning 23 cards from Wild back into Standard, and they have never done anything like this going back as long as I can remember, and I've been playing since beta.
So we said 23 cards. What it is, and we'll go into the cards in more detail, it's 5 neutrals and then 2 class cards from each class. They've done something similar with the Rise of the Mechs, but those were buffs. Those weren't rotating cards in or anything like that, but it shook up the meta midway through. So it's kind of the same type of thing, but obviously we're taking some cards and putting them into Standard. Now, this, I'm going to go a little tinfoil heady here before we get into the cards that we're seeing. Does this kind of give us maybe a teaser of what the next set's going to be? Because I'm getting kind of a Caverns of Time, timey-wimey kind of feel here.
I think that would be really cool, but I'm not going to put my eggs in that basket because Team 5 always has a way of faking left and then going right, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, and historically, the third set of the year is always like the fakiest. I mean, Rostakon's Rumble wasn't really something we saw. Even TGT wasn't something we saw. That Kobold and Catacombs wasn't something we kind of expected. So that third set's always the kind of off the wall.
And historically, you've always called Pirates versus Ninjas, so the answer is probably not.
No. I am not going with Pirates versus Ninjas. This year, I am going Ninjas versus Pirates.
Oh, there it is, folks.
Switching up. I'm switching it up. No, but let's get into the cards.
Well, yeah, let's talk about the different cards, and we'll come back to the other stuff that I kind of glazed over just a second ago. But let's talk about the cards. So We'll start with the class cards. Druid is reintroducing Astral Communion and Kun the Forgotten King. So, if you don't remember or you didn't play when these cards were active, Astral Communion is a 4 mana cost spell. Give you, set your mana crystals to 10. Is that right?
Yes.
And Kun, the Forgotten King, is 7 mana. Choose one. Refresh your mana crystals, or give yourself 10 armor. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
That's correct.
Okay, I'm kind of going off the top of my head here, so
he's a 7. He's a 7 mana 7/7, if I remember correctly.
That sounds right. Let me just.
No, I'm sorry. He's a 10 mana. What am I saying? I had my number slipped.
10 mana.
He has a 10 mana 7/7.
Okay.
That is gain 10 armor or refresh
your mana crystals. That's right.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So that's your Druid cards, both of which a whole lot of fun to play.
Yeah, and just a little teaser about the second half of the show. I did play with both of these cards in Wild, and I really, really like them.
All right. So then Mage is getting back one of my favorite Mage cards. Well, actually, two of my favorite Mage cards. First, Babbling Book, or also known as the Paveling Book. 1 mana, 1/1, Battle Cry, add a random Mage spell to your hand. And then probably one of the best tempo cards in the game of Hearthstone, the Flame Waker. 3 mana, 2/4, after you cast a spell, deal 2 damage, randomly split among all enemies. If you guys were not around during the Flame Waker period, let me tell you, Tempo Mage, so much fun.
That's going to be nuts because Mana Cyclone allows you to fill your hand with so many spells, and that Mana Cyclone deck kind of fell off a little bit, but oh my goodness, it may come back. It's going to be really good.
Yeah. And then the Paladin gets probably 2 of the best cards in this list, if you ask me, and that is the Mysterious Challenger coming back, along with the Secret Avenge. So if you're not familiar, Mysterious Challenger is a 6 mana 6/6 battle cry. Put one of each secret from your battlefield, from your deck, onto the battlefield. And Avenge is a 1 mana secret. When one of your minions dies, give a random friendly minion +3/+2. Now, for those of you who have been with us since the very, very beginning of Hero Power, the very first deck we ever played in Episode 1 as our deck spotlight was Mysterious Challenger Secret Paladin.
Yes.
And we're doing it again tonight.
I'm so excited. So I think this might be the prime time to bring in Mysterious Challenger. We've been playing with secrets recently because they've done a lot of secret synergies with Paladin, but it's always been like it's just missing something. I don't know what. And these are 2 pieces that might be the exact 2 cards it was missing to make it competitive. I think this is going to be your day 1 deck to play. That's just my opinion.
Yeah. I know not everybody is a fan of Secret Paladin. I've been seeing a lot of boos and hisses on Twitter, but it's going to be a lot of fun. All right, Hunter is getting Lock and Load, which is a 2 mana spell. Each time you cast a spell this turn, add a random Hunter card to your hand. And then they're getting Call of the Wild. 9 mana spell, summon all 3 animal companions. Now, this card was nerfed because originally it was 8 mana.
Yes.
And that's why it was nicknamed Call of the Broken. But honestly, I feel like Hunter, of all the classes, probably got the shaft on their cards. Because I just think Lock and Load is only okay, and Call of the Wild just costs too much to be useful.
I don't know if I totally agree with that. Lock and Load I don't think is that great. But Call of the Wild is going to be a great addition to any deck that runs Zul'jin.
Okay, yeah.
But so I think it's for any deck that runs Zul'jin, like a Highlander hunter, I think Call of the Wild slots right into that perfectly, and I think it'll be successful. Is it broken? Probably not. I don't think they got the worst of the class cards. I reserve that for one we'll talk about later, but I think it is one of the worst.
Okay, all right. Next up, we have Shaman. Shaman is getting back Evolve, which is a 1-mana spell. Transform all your minions into random minions that cost 1 more. So that's a really good, strong spell. And they're also getting back one of my favorite Shaman minions, Thing from Below, which is 6-mana 5/5, costs 1 less for each totem you've summoned this game.
Yeah, I think there's some totem shaman decks that are similar to the secret paladin decks that are like they're there but just barely close. If they had any of the older tools like Think from Below, it'd work out really well. Mm-hmm. And I think Evolve is going to be one of the best cards to see in Mage, because it's going to come off a puzzle box of Yogg-Saron, and everybody's going to be either really sad or really unhappy about it.
Yeah.
Evolve is a card. Evolve is one of those cards I would like to see get rotated into classic or basic. Okay. That's just my opinion. I think it is kind of a stylistically identifiable card for Shaman.
Okay. Then we got Rogue, and Rogue is getting back 2 of the best thief cards they've ever had in Shaku the Collector. He's a 3-mana 2/3 with stealth. Whenever this attacks, add a random card to your hand from your opponent's class. And they're getting back Swashbuckler, which was the mandatory turn 1 play if you were playing Rogue. 1 mana, 1/1, battle cry, add a random card to your hand from your opponent's class. How do you feel about Thief Rogue in the standard meta?
So, I think these cards will be played. I don't think it's going to be all that good because it's a little slow. I think if they leave them the way they are, it's not going to be that great. But if they give them the same treatment where they change it from your opponent's class to another class, if they decide to make a change to those cards, then the deck will be a lot better. And obviously, Swashbuckler would be a power creep for Pilfer.
Yeah.
So for 1 mana, you get the Pilfer effect, but you also get a 1/1.
A 1/1 body, yeah.
I don't know if the pirate tag will be really worth anything right now, but I think these are solid middle of the tier.
Okay. All right. Then we got Priest. Priest is getting back one of its more powerful board removal spells in Light Bomb, which is a 6-mana deal damage to each minion equal to its attack. And they're getting back their former war chief in Vol'jin. He's a 5-mana 6/2 with the battle cry swap health with another minion. In this standard meta where priest minions are getting so big with huge health pools, do you see Vol'jin slotting into this?
I think there's a possibility. It'd be definitely a good thing for the mirror. Vol'jin's always been a card I've really liked the flavor on it. Obviously, there's make some good solid trades, things like that. The thing I'm worried about is with Light Bomb. The last few sets have been very body heavy for your minions. A lot of your taunts are 3/6s, or they have a lot more health than they have attack. So I don't know if Light Bomb is the board clear we were hoping it would be. I think I'd rather see something like is it Dragonfire Potion?
Yeah.
I'd rather see something like Dragonfire Potion than Light Bomb. But I guess that maybe that makes it balanced, because in this current meta, Light Bomb is not nearly as powerful as it used to be.
Okay. Warlock is getting one of my favorite demons, the Imp Gang boss. It's a 3-mana 2/4. Whenever this minion takes damage, summon a 1/1 Imp. And then getting one of what was probably the more fun cards in Hearthstone history that they've had in Renounce Darkness, which was a 2-mana spell. Replace your hero power and all of your warlock cards with another class's cards. The cards all cost 1 less mana.
So I think Imp Gang Boss is going to be the single most impactful class card that's being rotated in. It really is perfectly identifiable for the best warlock deck that's out there now. Whether that's a very competitive deck right now or not is arguable. Some people say warlock fits in really good in some conquest lineups, but I think once Imp Gang Bosses be able to put in Zoo's got to take a huge jump up. On the backswing, I think Renounce Darkness is probably the least impactful, just because there are going to be some players that play decks, and Matt at Arms has already been playing with this, and I think he's going to be very successful with Renounce Darkness in his deck. However, it has such a high skill ceiling that I think that makes it not really viable on the ladder, because a lot of players, unless you're very, very good with that type of deck where you're not necessarily just playing what you draw into, but having to make sure that you play a specific card before another card and you sequence really well, those players are going to be good with this card. But I don't think there's enough of those players to make this a successful card in the meta.
Okay. All right. Warrior is getting back 2 minions, actually. They're getting back Varian Wren. He's a 10-mana 7/7 battle cry. Draw 3 cards. Any minions you drew go directly into the battlefield. So you don't even have to play them. They just get played automatically. And then they get Bloodhoof Brave, which was such an annoying card in its time. It's a 4-mana 2/6 taunt. Has +3 attack while damaged.
So Warrior gets my vote for the least impactful class selections. Varian Wren slots into a deck that you do account for fatigue, and so you're basically increasing your fatigue counter by 3 cards. So that is counterintuitive to what your deck wants to do. Second most is the Bloodhoof Brave. Yes, it's a really good card. It's a good curve for a taunt, but right now there are much better taunts for that mana slot that have mech synergies.
So, what do you think about either of these cards slotting into that Highlander Warrior that's become pretty popular over the last week and a half, 2 weeks?
Well, I think that Highlander Warrior is a fad and it's a horrible deck. And sure, it slots in there, but does it make it better? I think no.
Okay, all right. And then we have our neutral cards. We're going to take these one at a time and talk about these.
This is where it gets spicy.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about these neutral one at
cards. These neutral cards are more impactful, in my opinion, than all the class cards combined.
I agree 100%. So first up, we have the Curator. 7 mana, 4/6 taunt, battle cry, draw a beast, dragon, and murloc from your deck. Zerotio, where do you see the Curator finding a home in this meta?
Highlander decks. I mean, what is it? The Sandbinder has become a very pivotal card in Highlander decks, specifically because it will draw the 1 or 2 elementals you put in a deck for specific reasons. Same thing goes for the Curator. You can find specific beasts, specific dragons, or specific murlocs that you want to draw. I don't think there's any real impactful murlocs, but beasts and dragons definitely are some that might go into a combo. It can draw your Malagos, so you can set up for a combo, things like that. So I think the Curator is going to fit into a lot of Highlander decks in that same way that Sandbinder does.
Okay, all right. Next up, we have Emperor Thorson. 6 mana, 5/5. At the end of your turn, reduce the cost of all cards in your hand by 1. Now, this card, this was one of those cards that was in just about every single deck during his time in the standard meta. Are we going to see that again in this standard meta?
So one person I want to shout out that I know is going to just go crazy with this deck, with this card, is Hysteria. Hysteria loves to make crazy combos that run at like a 12, 13 mana premium. And obviously he needs to find specific ways to come up with those 12, 13 mana to be able to play that combo. And Emperor Thorson is going to be perfect for that because it obviously reduces all those combo pieces by 1. So I would definitely be, if you haven't been subscribed to Hysteria's YouTube channel, I would definitely follow him. He's going to have the best use of this card. I think he's going to be... combo decks are right on the fringe of being good, and I think he's going to make combo decks great again. I'm excited.
All right. Then we've got Ragnaros the Fire Lord making his return to Standard. So if you guys may remember, Ragnaros was, I guess for a better word, relegated to the Hall of Fame just a couple of years ago. And he was in the Standard, the classic set, and was in you saw Ragnaros everywhere. And now it's been a while since we've seen him in Standard, and now he's making his comeback. And, like The Rock, when he returns to a city, Ragnaros, I think, is going to have a big impact as well. How about you, Zerotio?
Honestly, I think he's going to have a good impact, but of the 5 neutral cards, I think he has the least impact. And the biggest reason is the home for Ragnaros, I believe, is going to be also in Highlander decks, where you're playing a slower game, a kind of a control-y game, and you set your pieces up slowly. The problem is he would now be a third elemental to try to grab off of using your Sandbinder. You'd have Zephyrus, you have Tiamat, and then you'd have Ragnaros. So I think the only way Ragnaros gets played is if you cut Tiamat, and I don't think you can cut Tiamat.
So just thinking out loud here, in Hunter Highlander, you have Bran, who can summon King Crush, and you can run King Crush. In Mage Highlander, you have Jan'alai, who can summon Ragnaros, and you can run Ragnaros.
Well, Jan'alai currently isn't being ran in a Highlander, but you're right though, this addition of Ragnaros into the meta might make that type of deck viable. And the fact that he can be reduced down to 1 with Luna's Pocket Galaxy even makes it crazier.
Right.
So, there's potential.
Yeah.
Maybe.
All right. So that leaves us with 2 neutral legendary minions that are coming back into Standard. And I've left these 2 for last specifically because I feel like they're going to probably make the biggest impact of every card we've talked about thus far. First up, the other classic legendary that got relegated to the Hall of Fame, Sylvanas Windrunner.
This is huge. Sylvanas Windrunner, if you don't remember, is a 6 mana 5/5. Death Rattle take control of a random enemy minion. There is a certain other overpowered card that was moved to 4 mana. It's the mage spell.
You're talking about the one that destroys a minion and summons 2?
Yes, with Twin Spell.
Yeah.
Sylvanas with that card is going to be the pivotal turn 10 play, especially because I believe these cards are going to slow down the meta to a more viable meta. And I don't think aggro is, with the exception of possibly Zoo, I don't think aggro is going to be very dominant. Not in the form it is now, at least.
Is play
Conjurer's
dead?
Calling,
Is
yes.
the Hunter spell play dead still in Standard?
No, it's not.
Okay, I couldn't remember.
Conjurer's Calling. Yeah, thank you, Mr. Lowe. Yeah, Conjurer's Calling, and a big fist pound. What's up, bro? Conjurer's Calling and Sylvanas is going to be a broken combo.
Yes, it would. And then last, but certainly not least, the old god himself, N'Zoth the Corruptor, will be making his return to the Standard meta. If you do not remember, N'Zoth is a 10 mana 5/7 battle cry summon your death rattle minions that died this game.
There is a deck. There is a deck that I was working on, and it flopped. It uses Anka the Buried, and it is a rogue death rattle deck. I believe N'Zoth makes that deck tier 1. And I'm not a huge rogue fan. I'm not very good at rogue. It is the one class that I'm not going to get my 1,000 wins with when it launches, because I'm short of 1,000 with rogue. And I'm really excited to see rogue get some more love, because right now rogue is not good.
Yeah, and I'm thinking, I can't think of the name of the minion, but there is a 2-mana Warlock card that synergizes pretty well with N'Zoth that says Battle Cry, discard your highest cost card in your hand, and Death Rattle, add 2 copies of it to your hand.
Expired Merchant, I believe is what it is called.
Okay, that sounds like it might be right.
So if N'Zoth is your only 10-drop and you're running lots of Death Rattles, then yes, Expired Merchant would be great. Again, whether that's good enough to forego playing Zoo, I don't know.
Right. Again, I'm just spitballing ideas here, but that card is currently available in the standard meta and should be interesting to play.
Yeah, that's going to be a lot of fun.
Yes, Expired Merchant. That is correct.
Yeah, that one's going to be a lot of fun. Now, one thing that we didn't mention that I wanted to wait to the end to mention is there's a lot of people that probably haven't heard of these cards before. And if you want to know more information, you can go to our show notes when we put this on a download Monday morning to get a link to all that. But if you don't have access to these cards because you didn't play during this time, or you disenchanted them because you don't play in Wild, you're going to be given access to all 23 cards with 2 copies of all the non-legendaries when this event starts on Tuesday the 8th.
Yes, and that's something else we need to go back and talk about, because this event is running from the 8th all the way to the end of October the 30th.
The event is running until October the 30th. So that includes all the other stuff. However, it does say in the blog post that these 23 cards are going to continue to stay in Standard until at least the next set release.
Yes.
So, and let me get the exact wording so that so I make sure I'm reporting this properly. Important note: while these cards were reintroduced during the Doom in the Tomb event, they will remain in Standard past the event's conclusion until the launch of our next major update, which is usually the set release or set announcements. More details will be shared, including exact end dates and times in the coming weeks. So
as soon as they let us know what those are, we'll let you know what those are.
They usually don't do a big update until after their next announcement, which would be after BlizzCon.
Mm-hmm.
So these cards are going to be illegal during the World Championships at BlizzCon based on this.
Yeah, possibly all the way up through the 1st of December.
Maybe we don't know.
Right. So the new set usually comes out in early December, and so we'll have to wait and see.
So that makes me think, like I said, tinfoil hat, that maybe these temporary cards in Standard have something to do with the set. It's like a theme.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. It's going to be really interesting.
And Mike Lowe in chat says that's such a sweet idea to loan out the cards to everybody's account, basically taking advantage of this digital space that physical card games could never do this.
Yeah, and that's something I've always loved about Hearthstone is I like Magic. I cut my teeth on Magic. And when Magic MTG Arena came out, I was excited. But the one thing they didn't do is embrace the digital media of MTGA. All the cards you can do the same in the game, in the digital game, as you can if you were playing hard copy. There's no real randomness. There's no real effect that embraces the digital aspect of the game, and Hearthstone has done that and has specialized in that, and I'm really excited for more stuff like this. Now, I did ask Play Hearthstone and didn't get an answer yet. I'm gonna keep digging. I don't know how Toki Time Tinkerer interacts with these cards. If since they're in standard, they won't be in her pool of legendaries if you play her. So that might limit the pool even more. That may make her in Mage worth playing in the standard environment, because those cards, now they're good legendaries, but maybe they won't be in the pool, opening up the higher possibility of getting specific legendaries you want, like your shards and things like that.
Yeah. So one of the other big things coming out of this event is they're bringing back the dual class arenas. Mm-hmm. I don't know about you, but I've always loved when they do the dual class arena events. It's just always a lot of fun. So if you're not familiar with dual class arenas, you'll choose a hero and then choose a hero power, and then your card offerings for the arena will feature cards from both the hero class that you chose and the hero power class that you chose, in addition to additional neutral cards. Now, players who have an active arena run, when this event begins, it will end that run immediately. So if you're like waiting to go back to an arena, you need to finish it before October the 8th, or it will be finished for you, and you'll receive an arena ticket as compensation. So you're not going to be out anything. They're going to give you a free arena run if they have to end your arena run, but they will end your current arena run on the 8th. To ensure that players all have a chance to try out the dual class deck building dress up party, as they're calling it, weeks 1 and 2 of this event will give you a free arena ticket on login. So you'll get to do one free arena each week. I personally am probably going to be doing more than one each week. I've been saving up my gold, so I'm excited for this.
Also, on that note, if you're interested, today, while you're listening to this on the download, go ahead and start an arena run and run it up to 2 losses and then stop, because you will get a reward for that, and you will also get the arena ticket. So that is kind of a advantage of these events happening.
Yeah. So the event will coincide with their normal arena rotation. So the new arena sets in the rotation will be as follows: Naxxramas, Goblins vs. Gnomes, Blackrock Mountain, Grand Tournament, League of Explorers, Whispers of the Old Gods, Karazhan, Gadget Zan, Ungoro, Knights of the Frozen Throne, and Kobolds and Catacombs.
So the one thing that sticks out to me is I don't see Basic, Classic, or Saviors of Uldum. Now, I'm assuming they're implied, because usually all the arena blocks have the current expansion and then Basic and Classic. If that's the case, this is the largest set of block we've ever done. If it's not the case, then it matches up with the right amount of cards, but that means we're having a arena set that doesn't involve the most recent cards. So I'm not sure how to read into that.
Okay. They're also going to be introducing 2 new bundles with this event. You're going to have the Hex and Flex bundles. So the Hex bundle is $19.99, includes 20 Rise of Shadows packs and a random Rise of Shadows legendary. And then the Flex bundle is the same price, $19.99, and it includes 20 packs of Saviors of Uldum and a random Saviors of Uldum legendary. So you can go heroes or villains.
I really like that they're adding the random legendaries as part of the bundles. It's just really, to me, it makes it worth buying, because really when you're buying the bundles, you're hoping to get a legendary anyways. And you always feel bad when you get those bundles and you don't open a single legendary. Mm. Well, now you're guaranteed a legendary. Then you might get another legendary.
Right.
I get a kick out of them calling it the Flex bundle. I love that is Reno's, like, that's his calling card, is the Flex.
Yep. So, all right. I think that pretty much covers the event. Again, they are introducing the 1,000-win portraits. We did get confirmation on that on Twitter this week. So those will be dropping on the 8th as well. So, all right. Moving on, we did get confirmation that the Hearthstone Global Games is coming back. We thought for quite a while that maybe the Global Games was done and maybe not coming back. But no, they've worked out some details. They are bringing it back, but not quite the way it was, right, Zerotio?
Yeah, so they're not... They had a lot of regions in the original HGG, and it was very chock full of a lot of players that you'd never heard of before, you never really seen, and regions in Hearthstone that you didn't realize had organized teams. To me, it got a little muddled because some of those regions you weren't really interested in seeing. This time, they're going to have teams from 32 regions around the globe. That is significantly less than before, exactly 16 less than before. So there are 16 different regions that are being cut from this. But from what I can see, the regions, and I'm not going to list them all, they'll be in the show notes. The regions shown are the who's who of who's been competing in the recent last year and a half to 2 years in Hearthstone. And I think that it's going to be just fine. The format's going to be week one is going to be round of 32, 4 dual tournament groups, which are two groups of 16. Week 2 is going to be a round of 32, 4 dual tournament groups, remaining 16 teams. And then week 3 is round of 16. Week 4's top 8 with two dual tournament groups in the top 4. And the prize pool is $75,000 to these teams. So it's really neat. It's not a very long season, and I think this is going to be good. I think the one thing about HGG was it was so long, you kind of got bored of seeing the same thing over and over again. This is going to be a solid 4 weeks of play, and then having a championship Sunday on December the 22nd.
So, one of my favorite things about HGG in the past has always been that each region got to vote on the players that were going to be competing and representing them. Well, this time it says the highest prize earner from each country or region in the Masters Tour will be the first in line for invites to compete. The second player on each team will be invited directly by Blizzard based on criteria including lifetime earnings and contributions to the Hearthstone community. So I don't know that we're going to be able to, that we're going to be voting for individual players like we have in the past.
I don't think so. And I like this because that makes it more competitive. They also didn't say whether any of the prize earnings from the HGG, the Hearthstone Global Games, will count towards promotion into the Grandmasters. Right. I would assume it would, because
Grandmasters lifetime earnings.
Grandmaster seems to rely on lifetime or I don't think it's it's yearly earnings.
Right.
Isn't it? I think it has a decay of some form. So this is yet another way for some of those lesser known players to be able to earn more, prize money to possibly feed into the Grandmaster program. And anything that gives you more chances to feed into the Grandmaster program, to me, is a positive.
Yeah. So, all right. Looking forward to HGG coming back. Now, there was a bit of a little controversy with those teams that were not re-invited. And Falular on Twitter has
Falular
on Twitter has put out a call to action. He says, "Hey guys, if you still care about Play Hearthstone, please read this. My thoughts on HGG, and let's together make Hearthstone esports listen." And he lays out the reasoning why all these teams, the 16 teams that got cut, should be allowed. And it's a really good read, and I highly recommend taking the time to check it out. He's done a really good job of making this argument, and we're going to have a link to his tweets in our show notes. So make sure you go and read through that. He's very respectful about it, and it's really well done. So go read it. I highly recommend it.
I like that Falular did this. I don't necessarily agree with his points though, because there are 16 teams, 16 regions not being represented, and of the 16 teams, and that's listed in his tweet. You can look that up. Vietnam and Israel are the only two teams that really had any impact. Vietnam actually was kind of a dark horse and did pretty well in the HGG for not having a lot of notable players. And then Israel, while they didn't necessarily do well in HGG, they had a notable player in Hatul out of that region. And Falular did pretty well. But honestly, of these 16 regions that got cut, I don't think they're going to be terribly missed. I hate saying that. But honestly, I think cutting it down to 32 teams so that it has a nice, good, solid format and fits within the range and doesn't deter from the Masters program or the Grandmasters program, but still is a good viewing experience for the fans. I think it's worth cutting these 16 regions. And honestly, if they wanted to be included in the 32, maybe their teams need to produce more players that are doing well in Masters tours and possibly point earnings or prize money earnings feeding into Grandmasters, and then maybe they'll get recognized. No offense meant, but Hatul, while he has competed at a pretty high level, he just kind of falls flat when he's in high pressure situations, and that's somebody I'm not really interested to watch on a competitive team in Hearthstone Global Games. I know it's probably a strong opinion, but I'm not going to miss somebody like that competing. The favorite part of the fans of Hatul is more of his attitude, his personality, and that's not what makes people watch Hearthstone. It's the competitive, game. In my opinion, of course. So there's obviously going to be people that disagree.
Okay. So yeah, let's move on and talk about Grandmasters, because this weekend is the end of the regular season. Playoffs will begin next weekend, and I'm super excited for that. But this is the end of season 2.
Yeah.
Which means for the first time, we are seeing relegation claim its victims. And as of 6 p.m., on Sunday night, October the 6th, we have 6 players already relegated out of Grandmasters.
We have all 6 players. This is all of them.
Okay, that's all.
The only matches still going in Americas are deciding seedings for playoffs.
Okay.
So we have 2 per region, Europe, Asia Pacific, and Americas, and we know all 6 players that are being relegated after season 2.
Okay, so out of the North America region, we have Race and Strife Crow being relegated out. Out of the European region, we have Pheno and Orange being relegated out.
Yeah, Orange was a heartbreaker.
It really was. And out of the Asia Pacific region, we have Blood Trail and Pathra being relegated out.
Yeah, and I know this is going to hit hard because Pathra was our lone female representative in Grandmasters. And the Grandmasters promotion system doesn't say the top female player. And we have to remember, Pathra was not put into Grandmasters because she was a female player. She was put into Grandmasters because she was one of the top players in the world. Now, this does not mean that they are never going to be seen in Grandmasters again. We have Bucharest coming up, and a top performing result from any of these players in Bucharest will result in a possible promotion. And if they're being relegated but then qualify for promotion, they will just take their spot back. That is how the policy goes. You can re-promote yourself into your relegation slot. So I would pay a real close eye on Bucharest and the upcoming championship at BlizzCon.
Absolutely. It's going to be interesting to see who gets these spots going forward before Season 3 of Grandmasters starts. So,
and since Avanties missed my pitch to him,
yes,
Fino is being relegated, but at the same time, he is actually competing at BlizzCon for the World Championship from winning the EU region Season 1. So that means if he, say, takes all that
and wins World Championships,
he could then, based on that prize money, be re-promoted into the European slot, which is currently being held by one of the French players. I don't remember the name, because the French players just destroyed Seoul. So right now, the French representatives have the leading spot in EU. So I'm really excited because this relegation story makes me want to watch Hearthstone Sports.
Yes,
it really does.
You know, a lot of people are like, "Oh, it's terrible that these players are being removed," but it makes it worth watching. So
now, one thing I want to be critical on is some of these Grandmaster players either didn't go out to Seoul or didn't go to Vegas because they're in Grandmasters and there's, cost of flying out there and things like that, which I totally understand. But then if you follow up on the Season 2 and you're facing relegation, you kind of missed an opportunity to get some prize money that may help you re-promote yourself into Grandmasters. So it's very important for these Grandmasters who are automatically invited to the Masters Tour stops
to go play.
They need to go play and try to get, even if they get like top 16 and just get $1,000 here, $1,000 there. That prize money is going to be important to add up to eventually be able to re-promote yourself. Like Gallon did. Well, he didn't re-promote himself, but Gallon was able to get an early promotion because of dog dropping out of the Grandmasters. So that it's very important to keep that stuff, keep yourself competitive.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so this week's Tavern Brawl was 6-shooter. Make a 6-card deck and duel. Don't worry, when you're out of cards, you will get a free reload. So I played Mage, and I picked all Mage cards that either give you a random spell or allow you to discover a spell or a minion, except for 2 of my card slots were taken up by Mana Worm and Frostbolt. But beyond that, everything was on the table as far as discover and random spells and minions, and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I played Shaman and went Murlocs because I had the Murlocalypse quest and had to play 100 Murlocs, and I didn't even care if I won. I eventually got, I think, the 4th game in, I got my win, but it was all about just dumping them Murlocs and having fun. And as a matter of fact, after I won, I tried to dump as many Murlocs as possible when I saw that either I was getting close to lethal, or my opponent was getting close to lethal, or opponent getting close to lethal is not a big deal. If I was going to get lethal, I would just concede so my opponent got the win.
Gotcha.
Because I didn't want them to early concede on me.
Right. Okay, so yeah, if you haven't played the Tavern Brawl, you've got a couple days to go do that, so go and enjoy it. All right, so that brings us to one of my favorite parts of the show, this week's Deck of the Week. And so if you guys haven't been on Twitter, we're talking about these new cards coming into the meta, and Man-at-Arms took it upon himself to begin theory crafting decks that we might see in the standard meta as soon as these cards come in. And so he started a theory crafting thread on Twitter. You can just go look up his account at Man-at-Arms on Twitter, and you'll find this theory crafting thread with at least one, maybe two decks for every class, including, you've got your, you've got your Secret Paladin that we're getting ready to play tonight. He's got an Astral Communion Druid, I know. He's got all kinds of, he's got a Highlander Hunter, which looks like a lot of fun. So there are some great options to begin some early ideas for what's coming. His Secret Paladin really jumped out at me because I'm a big fan of the archetype, and I know Zerotio is just a fan of Paladin in general. And so
I love Secret Paladin. Now I do want to make a note that he has every class minus Warrior, because I don't know if he hasn't gotten a Warrior yet, or right now Warrior doesn't just jump out at you as anything. So if you do check our show notes out, there'll be a link to the document as well as a link to the Twitter thread. And I'm sure if he comes across any Warrior decks between now and Tuesday, he will put those in there and put them on Twitter. So I can't profess enough of how much Man-at-Arms does for the show. He doesn't always make it to the live shows, like the recordings like we're doing today, but he is very pivotal and very impactful with putting in the show notes and putting in a lot of the news. He pretty much did it all this weekend while I was busy, and he is always theory crafting, not only behind the scenes, but in our patron-only Discord that you can be part of. You go to patreon.com/heropower. Man-at-Arms has some of the best ideas with decks, and we're just going to play one tonight. But definitely check out his Twitter, which is at Man-at-Arms.
Yes.
Yes, which is at Matt@Arms, and tell him what you think about these decks, and if you come up with anything to share with him.
Well, one of the biggest reactions he got on the Twitter thread was to this Secret Paladin deck. People saying, boo this deck. And so I thought, man, this is perfect. A couple weeks ago, we played the Priest deck that, everybody said was ruining Standard. Now we're going to play Secret Paladin, which everybody's going to say is ruining Standard. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. So, all right, I'm going to run down the deck list, and then we will talk about it. So the deck consists of 2 copies of Auto Defense Matrix, 2 copies of Avenge, 2 Brazen Zealots, 2 Christology, 1 Never Surrender, 2 Noble Sacrifice, 1 Redemption, 2 Secret Keepers, 2 Mysterious Blade, 2 Sandwasp Queens, 1 Commander Rissa, 2 Magic Carpets, 2 Blessing of Kings, 2 True Silver Champions, 2 Glowstone Technicians, 1 Leroy Jenkins, and 2 copies of my friend and yours, the Mysterious Challenger.
Yeah, this deck is really good. I made this deck, and we're going to play it in Wild tonight, obviously, because you can't play it in Standard today. So the environment that we're playing it in will be a little different than what you'll see on Tuesday, but it's a lot of fun. I know I personally played this exact list. Avanties, you actually found adding in a consecration helped you where you were on the ladder.
Yeah,
right?
So I'm a lot higher on the Wild ladder. I haven't played Wild in a couple of months, so I was in that 15 to 20 range, and I was seeing a lot of aggro. And so I dropped one of the Glowstone Technicians and added in a single copy of Consecration. And it really kind of gave me that AoE removal I needed to get rid of early board minions. Turn 4 and they've got 6 minions on the board, I can just wipe them out and then, drop a mysterious challenger on 6, and it's all downhill for them from there. So,
yeah, I'm playing the list as we have it for the show tonight, and I'm seeing a lot more mid-range to combo-y style decks, and it's doing okay. I didn't get a lot of games with it. I got 5 games, small sample size, and I'm currently 2 and 3 with it. So it and of course there's a learning curve. So obviously there's some optimal plays I need to figure out. But I think it really has good legs. It definitely has a lot of potential. There obviously can be some fleshing out of some of the key cards that you might like, in the list that we don't have. And if you come up with any ideas, feel free to tweet at us at HeroPower_cast, and we'll be happy to check it out too.
Yep, absolutely. So, all right, well, I'm ready to go check out this this deck. I wanna play it some more. I've been having a lot of fun with it in Wild, but I'm looking forward to playing it in Standard on Tuesday, October the 8th. So, if you are joining us on Twitch or YouTube, please stay tuned for the live play portion of our show. If you are listening via the audio podcast, we'd like to thank you for joining us. Remember, you can follow us on Twitter, as Zerotio just said, at HeroPower_cast. You can find all of our past episodes on YouTube at youtube.com/ECMMOGamers or on our website at HeroPowerHS.com. If you enjoy the show and you'd like to help support and improve it, you can do so by joining our Patreon at patreon.com/HeroPower. And we'll see you all again next week.
And don't forget to use your hero power.
Alrighty. Well, let's get this game fired up here. And I guess you're driving tonight.
Yeah, I'm waiting on you.
Okay.
I'm ready.
Well, we're getting there.
I got the play button is over here glowing and shaking. It's like, come on, man, hit me.
I'm in, so you can go ahead and find you an opponent. But only a worthy opponent. We don't want anybody else. If you find somebody other than a worthy opponent, you need to concede, and we'll try again.
Gotcha. I like Gum Chewer myself, but I will keep to the worthy opponent.
I just clicked on the wrong one. I got beat by the spectate boss.
So I've got a rogue, and as you also see, I have the wonderful heroic Tombs of Terror card back. I was actually able to beat Heroic Tombs of Terror within 24 hours of its release.
Awesome. So, congratulations.
Well, with a little over 24 hours. It's about within 36 hours, I guess.
All right, so our opening hand is Magic Carpet, Auto Defense Matrix, Commander Rissa, and Redemption. What are you thinking? So, obviously, Commander Rissa makes all your secrets trigger twice.
Yeah.
Magic Carpet gives, when you play a 1-cost minion, it gets +1 attack and rush. What are you thinking here?
I'm thinking about keeping the Magic Carpet and the Redemption, but that's it.
I like that.
I want to draw into some of the one.
We do have the coin, so we could Magic Carpet turn 2 if we need to.
So we can Redemption on turn 1 into Magic Carpet turn 2. We did get the Mysterious Challenger, so that could be a turn 5 play.
Correct. Nope, there's the second Mysterious Challenger. We have a very high-costed hand here.
Really don't need that, but let's go ahead and just dump out the Redemption. The fact that we have the Mysterious Challenger in hand makes me think we're not going to coin out the Magic Carpet.
Yeah,
but
I can get behind that.
It'll allow our Magic Carpet to possibly stick. So Secret Keeper is a good one.
Yeah.
I think we just hero power, though.
I agree. I like the hero power here.
If I knew I could get a secret, then I probably would coin out the Magic Carpet, but we might not get a lot of benefit from the Secret Keeper this game, as in her buffs. Right. We might just use her as a way to clear with Magic Carpet.
So I like backstab.
If Edwin's here, that's a problem. No, it's Doomsayer.
Oh, that's good for us.
So I'm fine with that. I really am.
Power pass.
Yeah, we can hero power, but it's not going to matter. But yeah, I like that.
Well, that's the whole point. And he's going to recharge his dagger.
Well, this is a more controlling style rogue.
So, what do you think of glow? Well, it's just turn 4, isn't it? I was going to say, if it's turn 5, we could glowstone now.
I mean, we could coin out the glowstone, but it slows down our mysterious challenger.
It does.
I think we True Silver Champion. But
we could True Silver Champion, or we could Magic Carpet Secret Keeper.
Oh, Magic Carpet Secret Keeper doesn't really do a lot. We'll have a 2/2 and a 1/6.
Yeah. Okay. All right. True Silver Champion it is then.
I like the True Silver for the chance that he maybe plays a Hench Clan Thug. And we might not Mysterious Challenger this turn. We might just Glowstone Technician, depending what he does.
Yeah, I don't hate that, actually.
He is super slow playing. I hate that we drew the Never Surrender. But
yeah, because it's the only copy in the deck. So
I like the Glowstone.
Okay.
What do you think?
I like it. We've got 5 good targets for it in hand. So
yeah. Then I'm going to hold the weapon swing.
Okay.
We don't even know what he's doing yet, really.
That's right. We have no clue.
Kartut. So he may be playing a deck that he is also anticipating to play Tuesday.
Yeah. So swing with the weapon, clear with the glowstone, and maybe play the other glowstone, or do you want to go ahead and drop the Challenger?
I like Mysterious Challenger before we draw all of our secrets.
Okay.
So, but I like that play because this makes the Glowstone Technician vulnerable. But with Mysterious Challenger out,
it makes it dangerous.
It makes it dangerous.
Yeah. Now, what about coining into Never Surrender, or do we have an auto defense? Yeah. What about coining into Never Surrender?
I don't hate that. I don't hate that. Obviously, we couldn't do the auto defense matrix, but right. So we have an Avenge, Noble Sacrifice, auto defense matrix, and Never Surrender.
Yeah.
Oh wow, Vanish! It's actually a really good way to handle that.
It is.
But that means we get another charge out of our Glowstone.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so good.
Yes.
So
I think you Glowstone Sandwasp Queen, or do you want a Sandwasp Queen Glowstone?
I want a Sandwasp Queen first because it's going to buff the 1 costs.
Okay.
Which in turn will benefit the Magic Carpet.
Okay.
So we'll Sandwasp into Glowstone, and it gives us 2 minions on the board for Avenge.
Okay.
That's really strong. These Sandwasps are huge. I think we can kind of go a little nuts here.
Man at Arms says he thinks it might be a Mill Rogue, maybe?
It could be. It could be. I like popping... I think... Not sure what I want to do here.
Well, I think you
Part of me wants to go crazy.
I think you start by swinging in with your weapon and clearing with the Sandwasp Queen.
I think you're right there. I was wondering if I want to do it with a rush, but I think I want to get one more Glowstone Technician out.
I think that's probably not a bad play.
So Glowstone.
Uh-huh.
And then what? Maybe Secret Keeper and the Mysterious Blade?
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
To round our curve out?
Yep. But I wouldn't play anything else until he responds in case he has a second Vanish.
Which, if he has a second Vanish, these minions are getting huge.
No,
that's
they're getting huge.
Yeah, they're big. I don't hate this.
All right, so now here is where I think we go off. So
Magic Carpet?
Well, actually, no. Hang on. Do we want to do that? We want to clear the 5/7 with the.
We could use a Sandwasp.
Yeah. You have to play them. Yeah, play the magic. I play the 1/6 magic carpet that you just drew.
Okay. So the
And
1/6
then
magic
Sand
carpet, Sand Wasp into the 5/7.
Yeah.
Then do we hit our face into the heal bot?
Yes, we do. And then you send the other 14, 15, 16, 17 to face and play the auto defense matrix.
18 because I'm going to play the auto defense matrix.
Okay.
Then just hero power?
Yep. Okay. Matt at Arms says, big chunky wasps.
Huge. Chunky wasps.
Mike Lowe says, man, I wish I had less than 1,000 wins with Pally because I'd play this non-stop.
So I really think... Wait, Vanish was sent to the Hall of Fame. So...
Yes.
He just well played like he just won the game, and I'm
well,
not convinced
I think he's thinking, okay, I'm gonna re-heal all the way back up to full here.
Well, he also has another N'Zoth in his hand now.
Yeah.
So I think
he's just well playing. Like, come on, just concede because you're not going to get through all this.
I think we Brazen Zealot.
Okay.
Into Sand Wasp, and we just gotta clear these down.
Yep.
Okay, and clear that one, then do it with our face. And use the Zealot.
Yep. And then use the magic carpet.
Oh yeah, I like that.
And then
I mean, obviously he's going to fill right back up again.
Yeah.
I'm just going to play a Mysterious Challenger.
Okay.
And hero power. That way I have a 12/12, a really large minion on the board.
Yep.
I do like this guy's deck. It's pretty cool.
There's the N'Zoth.
Gang up. Okay. And then Shadow Step? Wow. So this is an endless N'Zoth deck. I don't understand the backstep on, I guess, softening it up. So we will Crystology just to draw.
That's the only other one cost.
Yeah. So we just gotta clear through this.
Yep. Just go through them.
Gonna run this Magic Carpet, then I'm gonna play Magic Carpet.
Yep. Play the beefy Magic Carpet.
Then I'm gonna play the Secret Keeper. Okay. Yeah, I don't think there's a way for us to win. I think he's just gonna lock us out.
Yeah.
But I don't mind playing through it.
Here comes N'Zoth. Nope. Bran. Kazan. Okay.
Wow, and he gets that twice.
Yeah.
So he took
auto defense matrix and
was it Avenge?
Whatever Revenge. Yeah.
I think it was Avenge. I honestly don't remember.
No, it was not Avenge.
Yeah, Man-at-Arms says they can do this with Togwell Scheme. The only thing they won't be able to have is the Vanish, from what I can see, and obviously the Eater of Secrets and the Kesem Mystic. So I don't know if it's going to be as good. So let's go True Silver Champion. Let's clear. Yeah. Oh, this guy is just BMing like crazy. There's the Avenge. Okay, that's fine. And we just hit him, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't... Obviously, he has the other N'Zoth. That'll lock us out.
He has 4 N'Zoths.
Well, yeah, he has one in his hand.
Right. Here
comes the other N'Zoth.
Yeah. And I think it's bottom right now.
Yeah, we can bottom right, I guess. This guy is at rank 8? You're all that? Okay, that's fine. That's a really cool deck. Again, you're not going to see these type of decks, obviously, necessarily on Tuesday. So we're not expecting a lot of really good results. We're just trying to get our muscle memory ready for Tuesday when we get to play it in Standard.
Yes. Because, unlike his deck, our deck is 100% Standard legal come Tuesday.
That's correct. So we are playing in Wild at a slight disadvantage, but it's all in the name of science.
Exactly.
And I'm not a regular Wild player. I got Legend in Wild 2 months ago, and I'm currently rank 8. So,
Warlock.
So I'm thinking about, we have Leroy Jenkins, Secret Keeper, and True Silver Champion. I think I'm just going to keep the Secret Keeper and hope we draw one secret.
That's what I would do. But I probably wouldn't play the Secret Keeper on turn 1. I'd wait till you can play it with a secret on turn 2.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely. And in this case, probably never surrender. So, does that mean I go ahead and play the Avenge, or do I save the Avenge as well?
I'd probably wait.
Okay. I agree with you.
So now you Secret Keeper, never surrender.
Do we?
Or do you Sandwasp Queen?
I think I Sandwasp Queen, because he could just run into the Secret Keeper and no harm, no foul. I think I Sandwasp.
He can just run into it, but it won't kill it. It'll be a 2/3.
Yeah.
Unless he's holding
Soulfire?
Soulfire, yeah.
But if we play Never Surrender,
it'll get bigger anyway. So he wouldn't be able to kill it.
All right, Secret Keeper, Never Surrender. I'm okay with that. Okay. Maybe I was just thinking about being too greedy. I do that a lot.
He's
tap.
Life tap. Coin. There's our bonus health. Mistress of Mixtures, pass.
Okay.
Now, what do you think about Avenge Mysterious Blade?
The thing is, if we Avenge Mysterious Blade, we don't get any benefit from the Avenge.
Okay, so do you want a Sandwasp Queen Avenge?
I think we Sandwasp Queen Avenge.
Okay.
Question is, do we trade either of these minions? I think we just go face.
I think you just go face 2. Start applying pressure.
Because he's probably going to run the Sandwasp Queen, which will buff our Avenge. Buff our Secret Keeper.
He's going to tap. He may run nope. Okay.
It's huge, I say, huge. I think this might just be pressure time.
I agree.
So, I know we don't get the benefit from Mysterious Blade.
But that's okay. It still kind of clears if we want it to.
Mysterious Blade, yeah, I guess we can clear with it. I like throwing the 2 Sandwasp Queens down.
Okay.
So we're doing 6 to face.
Okay.
If we do 2 more to face, we got Leroy next turn.
That's true.
But he's going to heal when he trades anyways.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe we just go ahead and hit the Mistress of Mixtures. Yeah, I think it doesn't matter. This way it protects from trades. And any Defile shenanigans, because he would get up to 3 damage on the Secret Keeper.
Okay, Void Caller.
He's eating it.
Sack Pack.
3/9.
Yep.
That's fine.
play the Avenge and hit it with the 7/9 and your weapon to spawn a bunch of 1/3s.
I don't hate that.
Play a 1/1 as well.
Hero power, you mean?
Yeah.
Question is, do we trade? I don't think we trade.
I don't think we trade either.
Because him trading is going to proc Avenge.
And next turn, we're going to Mysterious Challenger.
Likely, yes. I think this is a Highlander deck.
It's probably a N'Zoth, Reno, Lot Warlock.
Yeah.
Not that that's what I play in Wild. Oh, interesting.
That is interesting. Question is, can we
This
clear
is
it?
where a single copy of Consecration would come in handy.
That's true. That's true. Is there any merit to playing Mysterious Challenger?
Yes. Well,
No. The problem is the one we drew the redemption.
that's true.
It would be
yeah, the one copy of Redemption is in our hand, so
would be if we didn't draw redemption.
I think you just pass and the next turn play Redemption Mysterious Challenger.
We could do that. If we redemption now, it's going to come back as a 1/1, and
Yes.
it probably isn't that good. Okay, we'll just pass. You're right, though. Consecration there would have been golden.
Yeah.
So if we Mysterious Challenger, we'll get Auto Defense Matrix, Noble Sack, and then we'll play the redemption. Okay. I wonder if there's a variation of this deck as a Highlander that will work, similar to Highlander Hunter that uses secrets, except, as Paladin. But the drawing the secrets would feel real bad. Yeah, Mysterious Challenger Redemption.
Yeah.
Okay. The redemption will happen.
And then he'll run his
then-
minion in to kill it.
Auto Defense Matrix
Nope, Noble Sack.
and Auto Defense Matrix.
Yeah.
Now we have 2 minions.
No.
Oh no, that's right. It went on the 1. Okay.
Yeah. But we have a 6-mana minion to hit him with.
Yep.
Oh.
Blessing Carpet Face.
Yeah.
That's good. Trying to think of how. He's not Highlander because he ran 2 Kobold Librarians.
So that's true.
So he could have a second Siphon Soul. Could run Twisting Nether.
There's the
There you go.
Twisting Nether. Mysterious Challenger.
It will get his Auto Defense Matrix and Noble Sacrifice.
Yeah.
I'm cool with that.
Yep. And Hero Power.
Oh yeah, of course. The same scenario as last turn, without the redemption, of course.
Right.
But the redemption, just kept it alive. So.
There's the other Void Lord.
Goodness. And then Gul'dan is probably next turn.
Yep. And Gul'dan will be the nail in the coffin.
I think we
Matador
hit it, of
said,
course.
too bad Void Lord isn't coming back to standard, said no one who's ever played Hearthstone. Hey, Wicked Good. Thanks for joining us.
T-Bag, what's up, brother? Good to see you.
So yeah, if you're just joining us, we are playing a deck that will be legal in Standard on Tuesday, currently in Wild.
Ooh. Okay, so I think we run True Silver Champion into the 3-2. Then we clear a couple of these taunts. We're not out of this. Go ahead and soften this up.
Summon another Silver Hand.
And he held the attack because he knew that it was likely at least Noble Sacrifice.
Yeah.
So we have Noble Sacrifice, and we have Auto Defense. Oh, Treachery.
Very nice. Now here comes all the little cards.
Defile.
Doomsayer. Now that's fun.
Jinx.
I don't care who you are.
We might win, though. He needs to defile. There he goes. Now that might nail it for us. Do we have any outs? Is Glowstone an out? Glowstone is an out.
Glowstone is an out.
We might not need Glowstone if the defender stays alive. He probably shouldn't have attacked, actually. That probably was a misplay on his side. We win. We win.
Yep. Wow.
Ooh.
That was close.
He should not have done that last attack.
Yeah.
That last attack's what done him in. Because it gave us a 2-1 on the board, which was lethal.
Wow.
We want to try to get one more in?
Yeah, let's play one more. We're 1-1 with the deck currently, so.
That was cool. That was fun. I like that.
I love Treachery on cards like that. It's so much fun.
So, T-Bag, how is that painful to watch? We got it. What are you talking about?
Yeah, we totally had it the whole time.
Whole time. Mr. Wazowski. Wasn't that from Monsters, Inc.?
Yep.
So we got Noble Sack and Secret Keeper. Throw back the Blessing of Kings.
Yeah, I think so. So we are going first, so.
Obviously, we're probably going to want to hold off on the Secret Keeper till turn 2. But at least with Noble Sack, it's going to protect it from a dagger shot. Oh, okay.
Odd Rogue.
Yep. Pass.
Yep.
I hate that we drew the second Noble Sack. Yeah, the milling stinks, but, I mean, if it doesn't result in a win, they really didn't get anything out of it, so... So, Secret Keeper, Noble Sack?
Yeah, I think so.
I like drawing the Christology because it'll fill our hands with more minions to Glowstone on 5. If we can stick around that long. I mean, this is Odd Rogue, so they're going to be zooming. So if he hero powers, I think we're in a good spot. Because then he likely won't be clearing it without without a backstab.
Correct. Run in.
Nope. Okay.
Meets the 2/1. Hero power. Backstab.
No.
No.
Oh, he goes face. Wow. Okay. So magic carpet. Oh, that's a great feeder. So Christology?
I think we Christology. Yeah.
Secret Keeper Noble Sack again?
Yeah, I don't see why not. And go
I hate not
face
having
for
a
3.
1 cost with magic carpet, but I think this just puts us in a good spot. So he's probably going to want a Hench Clan Thug.
Mm-hmm.
To me, that swing to face tells me he probably has Hench Clan Thug. Maybe SI?
Coin.
Testing for Never Surrender.
SI.
I'd say he's probably setting up for SI if it wasn't Noble Sack.
Evil Miscreant.
And then he's going to use one of the...
Flame Elemental.
Flame Elemental.
Blessing of Kings.
Blessing
just
the
go
2/3?
face.
I think so. Blessing the 2/3, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Just step on the gas and make him play defense.
Yeah. I mean, that's how you beat Rogue is you get him... You make him step back, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Matt at Arms made a point. Backstab is even.
Oh,
so
yeah. Fair enough.
This is odd. I always forget about 0 casting cost cards are considered even. Okay. There's the SI.
The best, I don't know. I'm trying to think the best possible draw we could get here.
Leroy?
Probably. To give him the bonus from the glowstone.
Yeah. I think we glowstone this turn, though.
Yes.
Okay. So glowstone face?
Glowstone face. Just keep it on. Keep the pedal.
He has to
floor.
clear. He has to clear. But most of his deck isn't designed for clearing. It's designed for damage.
Right.
So he's going to have to clear it with damage, which puts us ahead. Okay, that's great, actually. I don't think he can do both minions, though. Trade.
Yeah. Go face.
Mysterious Blade.
So... I mean... So we've got a couple of options here. We could double Magic Carpet. We could Glowstone. Or we could Magic Carpet, Mysterious Blade, and clear the 2/2.
I like the double Magic Carpet because he's showing that he can't really clear real easy. And that's 6 more damage on the board, setting up for lethal.
Yeah, okay. So double Magic Carpet and go face with the 3/4?
Yep.
Just get greedy and go face.
Yeah, I mean, he showed us already he doesn't have any spot removal or anything like that. He's having to do his removal with damage. It's fine. Okay, there's spot removal.
Okay. Good.
Auto defense, not lethal,
but I think you just. Let's see.
That's
3,
6
4,
damage.
5.
Yeah, I think we auto defense and just go phase.
I agree. Auto defense matrix, mysterious blade, hitting for 6.
We'll go ahead and hero power. That's just another body that
and
represents
it may make
lethal.
him think it's an avenge.
Yep. And that represents lethal. Just the dude represents lethal.
Yeah.
I can't imagine 7 mana with, 7 on the board? So he needs 16 out of hand? Or 14 with 5 mana? I don't see it happening.
There's the Valspine. That's lethal. With just the weapon.
Yep. And nothing for 1 minute's going to stop him.
Nope.
Here we go. Awesome.
Good old secret Paladin. Wicked Good says this deck feels like it wants an Octosari.
So curious about that Wicked Good is I'd like to see this deck as a Highlander, and if you're gonna play it as a Highlander, maybe you do put Octosari in it. So I don't know. Science.
For science, that's right.
I mean, we've seen the secret-based Highlander Hunter do really, really well. I know Wicked Good yourself have had good experience with it, and I've gotten Legend with it. So maybe there's a secret-based Highlander Paladin that works well. Obviously, we don't have King Crush, but maybe Mysterious Challenger kind of takes that role.
Yeah, that could be interesting. We're entering into a whole new era of standard meta on Tuesday, and so
that we're not used to. I mean, this is something unprecedented, which I'm really excited about. This is
something completely new, and I'm excited to see how creative people get and what comes out of it. You know, those are the things that really, to me, make Hearthstone interesting, is seeing people get creative with deck building. So I am very much excited about the new standard meta.
Yeah, I'm super excited about it.
So, all right, gang. Well, I believe that's going to do it for us this week. We want to thank everybody for joining us live. And if you have any questions or comments about the show or about the deck that we played tonight, feel free to email us at heropowerpodcast@gmail.com. Hit that subscribe button below on YouTube if you've not done so already, or give us a follow on Twitch to be alerted when we go live. For more details about our patron-only Discord, head over to patreon.com/heropower. And until next week, good gaming, and get ready for a whole new meta.
Bye, guys.